So I have a short presentation about informational interviewing. An informational interview is an informal conversation that you can have with someone working in an area of interest to you. It's not meant to be a job interview, and the objective is not to find job openings, but it really is an effective research tool to find current and specific information from a professional that may not be available online. There's a lot of benefits to an informational interview. You're going to get firsthand relevant information about the realities of working within a particular field. You'll find out about career paths you did not know existed, and you're initiating a professional relationship and expanding your network of contacts. Although an informational interview is not meant to find job openings, you're going to meet people who may forward you job leads to you in the future through an informational interview. So the first step is to find a professional. So Google local companies, find a company that you could see yourself working at, look at their staff and team page, and find your dream position for 5 to 10 years from now. If you find a professional working in your dream position, you're going to be able to ask them really specific questions about the path that they took to get there. Connect with the Career Center and contact alumni relations. We have a lot of professionals in our network that we can set you up to do an informational interview with. And use your own network. Your network is bigger than you think. So look to your faculty to see if they know anyone working in the field that you want to be in. Think about your family and who your family knows, and your friends and who they know too. So use your own network to find that professional. So once you find that professional, you'll have to make the connection. So we have a little sample email written on the screen. So always have a greeting with their title, and then introduce yourself. So say your name, say that you're a student at Walsh, and explain what you're doing and why you're reaching out. So you can say that you want to learn more about what they do. You can say, I really want to be in your profession in 5 to 10 years, and I want to hear more about your career path. Always end with some sort of actionable next step. So whether that would be saying, would you have 30 minutes in the next 2 weeks to call to discuss how you got to where you are, or any sort of call to action, end with that. And then end with sincerely and your signature. You always want to have more information instead of just your name as your signature, so they can have quick reference to who you are and your contact information, including a phone number. So after you connect with the professional, it's really important to prepare for your informational interview. The more you prepare for your informational interview, the more beneficial it will be to you. So do your homework. Connect with the professional on LinkedIn. Explore what they've done in the past so you can ask specific questions about the path that they have. Research the organization that they work for, and that way you can, again, ask specific questions. And prepare your questions ahead of time. So we have a few sample questions on the screen. You can ask what makes a resume impressive in your field. I highly recommend asking that question and taking notes so you can go back and change your resume based on what they say. You can ask them to walk them through their career path and how they got to where they are. If they're in the exact position that you could see yourself working in, maybe you want to take some of the same steps that they did. Always ask who else you should talk to as well. They can give you contacts within that field, and they're going to know some important people for you to talk to in order to get where you want to go. So interviewing over the phone. If you're doing your informational interview over the phone, make sure you set up a time to call and know who's calling who. So in the email, say specifically who will call who and when. Introduce yourself on the phone. So when you say hello, make sure you tell them who's calling and why you're calling. Be ready to lead the conversation and take notes. Again, it's going to be really important to take notes. That way, if there's anything you have to do to follow up, you'll be ready to know what to do. And of course, end the phone call or the meeting with thanking the professional for the time. Professionals really do want to help students, so don't think that you're being a bother to them. They really will appreciate you reaching out and wanting them to know how to get where you are. So there's a few ways to follow up. It's really important to connect with them on LinkedIn, exchange business cards with the professional, so you have their contact information. Always send a thank you email. Right when you get home, send that thank you email to the professional for a meeting with you and having that conversation. If you want, you can take that extra step and send a handwritten thank you as well. Follow through with any requests. So if the professional has asked you to send them your resume so they could look over it, or they could send it to someone else, make sure you go right ahead and in that thank you email, send your resume as well. And stay in touch. If you stay connected with the professional, it could lead to job leads in the future, and it'll just be a great person to have in your network. So just to recap, research career fields, identify people to interview, prepare for the interview, initiate the contact, conduct the interview, and then always follow up with a thank you and stay connected. All right, there's our contact information at the Career Center. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us or make an appointment with us on Handshake.